What is going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video, back to finally drop my official review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. That's right, if you search my channel, I actually have a Samsung playlist. The one video I have of my Samsung Galaxy Tab S4 is a 1 week review, and that was way back when. I've been using this device so extensively, and you've seen the coverage I've dropped on it, whether it was good lock, the Android update on it, a Samsung Dex problem, exploring Samsung Desk, the daily board. I've actually been diving into this thing very, very heavily, and I'm not gonna wipe the fingerprint smudges off because I'm gonna be using it and holding it, but in my B-roll, it should be pretty clean. How has this device held up since I bought this thing back in, what, February? It's been very solid. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? Before we get straight into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe and comment down below that you've been here, what you think of the Tab S4. On the eve of the Galaxy Tab S6 releasing to the fold, we have to dive into the Tab S4 and see, is this still a worthy and competitive tablet, not just to that, but to the iPad, considering the only other Android tablet that really gets released is Huawei's MediaPads, and the Pixel Slate, although it's been discontinued, has been discounted, so there's some deals going out for that, but it's still more expensive than this. This device you can get it for like $500 with the keyboard, or $550 with the keyboard. So how's this device been doing? It's been super solid. I'm so glad that I was finally able to upgrade from my Galaxy Tab S2 to the S4. Of course, I would have liked the S3, but I'm glad I was able to do the S4. As you guys know, in terms of hardware, no fingerprint sensor or scanner anywhere on the back, side, or the front. It's iris scanning and facial recognition combined, like the Samsung Galaxy S8 had, and I believe the S9 had. The S10 series and the Note 10 does not have it anymore, but this has it. And I believe they're bringing the fingerprint sensor back. And what is this ooey gooey stuff on the bottom here? All right, that was a bit of a scare. I thought something was wrong with it. Just some ooey gooey stuff got to the bottom. How is the hardware holding up? Well, as you see, it's a clear slab on the front and the back, glass. The glass works against it and because of the fingerprint smudges and whatnot, but it also looks very luxurious. I like the back of the Tab S2, and I think I do like the back of the Tab S6 because it's not necessarily glass like this. It's more matted feel now, which is nice. I think it's maybe a metal back, but all glass. A teeny tiny camera hump. The cameras, I mean, okay, the tablet cameras, of course. And then you get your docking port connector right here for the Pogo dock that you guys saw. And for the keyboard as well. I got the keyboard sitting right here in front of me. Boom, right here. You got speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4, headphone jack, USB-C, thank you, power button, and volume rocker. Very clean. Okay, very clean, very sustainable. This tablet works wonders. Now, for me, how do I use this thing? It's got 4 gigs of RAM for this model, and then it's got 64 gigs of storage. My bad. So 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage. Very solid. Like, you don't really notice the storage part, mainly because it is expandable. So I offload a lot of my stuff onto my SD card. In terms of the 4 gigs of RAM, the one issue I found, especially in tablet mode, is it seemed like it will restart your last app that you were in if you stay in another app long enough. Like for me, as you see, I use Power Director. I edit off of this, and I'll get to that soon, but I guess we jumped into software now. When I have an app open, like, I don't know, YouTube, all these notifications, if I have like YouTube open, let it do that, and then I swipe over here to the Galaxy Play Store, and I'm in here, I'm moving around, Now maybe it won't do it for YouTube, we'll see. Or maybe it's just the Internet Explorer. It might just be the Internet Explorer. But we're gonna see here, no updates. And then let's say I wanna go back. Okay, so in this case, it's not gonna do it for YouTube, but Internet Explorer does it sometimes. It seems like it'll reload the page. But outside of that, the RAM has been no issue for me. It does pretty well keeping open, your apps. They've sent out some tuning updates to the One UI Home and one update, I think we got 1 or 2 updates we've gotten since this is dropped. Security patch updates. That's pretty much, it seems like that's all it's been. They have not fixed the DeX problem yet that I talked about, which is when you have navigation gestures on in DeX mode, when you full screen video, the taskbar at the bottom goes away and it doesn't come back. You have to leave DeX and then come back into it. So I have not seen that fixed. That being said, some people have said that either they didn't have the problem or they said it was fixed because they were able to repeat that problem. So Samsung's support for the tablets need to improve. They need to improve because if you want your tablets to continue to be sustainable, people to buy them and want to use them long term, you have to update them often, not just every 3 months. And if you do, actually improve more than just dropping the security patches. Like actually optimize certain aspects of the tablet, especially when you've introduced navigation gestures and they were kind of slow, or you can just tell like it didn't seem like they were quite ready yet on the tablet, even though they work, but it seemed like you had to start them and then it was like, okay, we're using this for real. So for me, like swiping up works fine. Now I'm using Good Lock on here, so that's why my layout's different. You can change it, but like going in here, let that open, and then swiping up, it closes. Going there, swipe up, closes. It's relatively smooth, but it could be smoother, or it's smooth now. That's what I'm saying. Smooth now. It wasn't as smooth when they first dropped the Android 9 Pie update on the Tab S4. That being said, it's been a tremendous tablet. I edit off of this thing. Power Director, edit 4K off of this. Yeah, in editing, it's kind of hard to scrub through the timeline and whatnot when editing, but like you can still watch it back and play it back. Now of course this is a 2K panel, so you don't get to actually see the 4K on here, but it will edit it. And as you've seen with my videos, no problem with my videos, it will edit or render the video, no problem. Just while you're editing, it can be kind of tough scrubbing, but sometimes you have to wait. So that's the thing. Now the part of that reason why it feels like it struggles sometimes to edit even 1080p is because this is running last year's or 2 years ago's processor. This came out last year and they opted for the processor of the last year, pretty much, if you see what I'm saying. Do you? Last year was the Snapdragon 845, right? This year's the Snapdragon 855. And the Tab S4 had this Snapdragon 835 in it. That's a 2017 processor. Now, here's the crazy part. As you've seen and heard, I can edit off of it. Everything else about this runs very smooth for the Snapdragon 835 still. It's just, if I'm using it for editing, that's where I noticed the problem. So for people who don't use this for editing and just open, their Gmail or email, they just use it for email, some web browsing, some YouTube consumption, Netflix, like very everyday average usage. The 835 isn't bad. Like for the tablet, you don't notice or really think about the fact that there's a Snapdragon 835 in this thing. But if you use it as a powerhouse to edit or other things, a lot of stuff where it might bog it down or really need some processing power, that's where you'll notice, like, I wish there was an 845 in this. Or this year with the Tab S6, the Tab S6 is going to most definitely outlast itself because of having the 855 processor, because as we know, that one's a pretty decent processor. I think they should have put the 8CX in that, the laptop variant Snapdragon processor. I think they should have put that in the Tab S6, but with the 855, the Tab S6 should run even more flawlessly because that thing is pretty nice. And so for this, having a 2-year-old processor in 2019 and it still runs very smooth, it speaks testament to Samsung's ability to dig deep and really concentrate on their software optimization, and then on top of that, very, very good hardware to last alongside that older processor. So with the tablet, where are you gonna get your most use case out of it? With the S Pen and with the keyboard case. It fundamentally turns this thing into a laptop. Now, one of the things that I like, that some people like with the Note series, is the S Pen can do screen off memo. So like, I don't think you have to tap the screen. You just press the button, boom, it pops up right. I'm like, versatile is here. As you see, it should say that right here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thing slippery. Versatile is here. So screen off memo is fun. I've used it a few times, and I actually try to use it. Like my wife is asking me about groceries or something like that. I'll pop it up and be like, buy some more fruit and veggies. And then, I'll save it in the notes, and then I'll send it to her. So I definitely enjoy using this. I wish you can. Oh shoot. Yo. All right, cool. So let me press back, discard. So you're gonna get your use case out of using this tablet and with the keyboard that Samsung made for it, because it's a perfect companion. Boom, just like that. Snaps in, looks like a compact laptop. It's a 10.5-inch display, so you're still gonna get your good screen, and you get this. You get used to typing on this keyboard because it is kind of, it's kind of compact given the size. No touch pad, of course, but typing on this thing is actually very nice. You have to type on it a few times, but you'll realize, okay, it's pretty easy. Things are a little closer to your fingers than on a traditional keyboard like a laptop or a traditional keyboard. But everything's still laid out relatively similar, and like, you can press enter to bring it up, enter again, opens up, you tap off, and then like, let's say you wanted to, let's go to Google, and like, if I press Alt, it's gonna bring up the emojis, right? If I want the keyboard, that you can press Alt to bring it up and down. You can press the keyboard button twice, bring up the keyboard, press it again, takes it away. So if you're typing and you don't have your S Pen with you, or you're not using your S Pen, it's still docked into this area right here, bam. If it's still right here, you could type, bring it up, okay, drop it away, I want that up, boom, and I'm good. And then now to go home, I've never actually really tried to do that on here. I've never really tried to go home. I don't think it will let me this way. Shift. Okay. So that, all right. Well, I'll just swipe up. Nice part about it, touch screen, right? But if I did want to use Google, press there's a question mark button on the keyboard. You press that, brings up Google, just like that. So there are very simple use cases for this tablet with the keyboard that gives you the ability to use this thing as if it was a laptop. And then of course you just have it right here, and you just typing away on this guy. And then you can use your S Pen if you had it. You don't have to have it docked while using it. You type in, you take the S Pen, you click on stuff. If you want to try to keep your screen fingerprint free, boom, got you covered with this keyboard. So for me, this keyboard was a lifesaver for me because it really brought its use cases out of this tablet. And it closes just like this, again with the boom docked, and you good to go. Now, what do I think about Samsung DeX? I was a big proponent, again, of very much so liking Samsung DeX. Matter of fact, I still like it. If I really needed to use like boxes for my apps, if I really wanted to maneuver like that, or I like the taskbar, I would be in Dex mode. I would stay in Dex mode. Now, in Dex mode, it does shrink things a little bit because of the compact screen. So things do feel a little bit smaller in terms of text and print. And the taskbar itself, the taskbar layout is much more nice on the Tab S4, especially on the Tab S4. Now, again, given the fact that you can use your web browser in desktop fashion in tablet mode, to me, it kind of eliminates some of the uses, or the redundancy is unnecessary for Samsung Dex, because you can maneuver and operate around without having to go into Samsung Dex in tablet mode. You have your apps laid out, but you can get them. You can multitask by having 2 apps up at once. But unless you need 5 or 6 or 7 apps up, and even then, depending on which one you got, which I think it doesn't matter for the Tab S4, it was only 4 gigs of RAM. Maybe the 256 gigabyte version has 6 gigs of RAM. Now that eliminates that problem, or alleviates that problem with the Tab S6, but the Tab S6 has 6 or 8 gigs. So that working in Samsung Dex might be easier because you can have more apps open, and you won't also constantly get this pulsing message at the bottom saying close some apps because of memory. And that's one of the things you get with the Tab S4, is with the 4 gig model, especially after you have about 6-7 apps, all of them open, scattered around, it'll start telling you to either close some apps, or apps will start closing because of memory. So that is one thing that, even though it really didn't bother me because it didn't seem like it got in the way, it can make you feel like Dex is limited. And then on top of that, not all apps are Dex optimized. So a lot of apps will have, especially you have to use Dex Labs to power use some of the apps that you want to use, because Dex Labs forces Dex mode onto other apps. And so the app will have to restart, and then it will open up in the function in which you want to use it for. I think Instagram is the only one that still won't open in landscape mode, because that's how you're going to use the tablet, is in landscape mode. I think Instagram might not still open. I'll probably demonstrate in B-roll, but that can be fun. And again, of course, for me, what makes it hard to want to use Dex mode all the time, because you could, like, you still get notifications as if you're in tablet mode. Everything still works in Dex mode beautifully fine. Like, it's really, what layout do you like more? To me, do you like the layout of like a laptop or a desktop fashion, where you got your apps all scattered to the left or to the right of your display, the taskbar at the bottom, your pop-up apps or your pop-up programs? Do you like that, or do you like the tablet look? To me, either or is fine. And had I not had an issue with Samsung Dex and navigation gestures, I would probably use Dex more often. But because I like using the gestures, I prioritize using tablet mode more than Dex mode. So for those reasons, Dex mode, to me, there's not as much of a need for Dex, because of how well tablet mode is now, and with the one lingering problem in Dex. Now, if that problem does get alleviated, will I go back to try to use Dex? Maybe. From time to time, maybe. But I can multitask and everything in tablet mode, so I don't have to use Dex. So for me, I love Dex, and I would still consider myself an advocate of Dex, but I wouldn't use it. So I support the cause without using it, I guess you could say. So it is what it is, I guess. To each his own. If you guys like Dex, sweet. I understand why. If you don't, of course, let me know down in the comments below. But that's Samsung Dex. The accessories you get, I've done videos on them. The Pogo docking station makes it easy to charge. Put it up. It could be a piece of art, photo frame in a room or whatever. Very clean. The charging time on this, not too bad. I think you get 100% in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I guess it also depends on where you at in your battery. If your battery's at like 0, then you're probably not going to get it for 3 hours. But if you got some juice left, no more than 2 hours, and it'll be at 100% just like that. Samsung's done a great job with their batteries ever since the Galaxy Note 7. So no problems with battery life. Battery runs me a long time. I will watch At home on a given day, if I had the freedom to just binge YouTube or Netflix for 12 straight hours, still got battery life afterwards. I still have battery life somewhere around 15-20%. So this thing is a powerhouse for sure. And I've been using this for like 6-7 months. This is my everything right now. The only reason I'm using this laptop here is to stream my audio. If I could do that with this, I would do it with this too. Like, that's how for real I am with this. So guys, this has been the review of this tablet. As I said, of course I'm gonna have the links in the description below if you are interested in this tablet. But it goes, I don't think you'll find it no more than $600, and it woun't make sense given that the Tab S6 starts at $650. So you're gonna find this tablet around $400 or $500 now. I have the T-Mobile variant, so unfortunately this thing is still like $700 if they still carry it. Now for me, I got this on a half off deal, so T-Mobile pays the other half, so I only come out of pocket paying $350. But at some point, I'll probably pay it off and just thank them for paying off some of it, so I can just get it out the way. But this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. Hopefully you guys appreciated and enjoyed it. I loved it, or I love it, I should say. It's been a game changer. That's how my S2 was too. It just was old and it was dead. So I'm glad I was able to get this guy. Dark theme on this, amazing. Again, like I said, Google Photos and all that type of stuff runs in dark mode or glimpses of dark mode, and it looks so much more better on a big display like this. So looking forward to the Tab S6. Looking forward to dropping a review on that as well. Hope you guys again appreciate it. Again, like, subscribe, comment down below that you were here and what you think about the Tab S4 and what you think about the Tab S6 as well. But your boy Versatile is signing out, and until the next video. Wait for it.